Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. And you've got us three back. We got Rhonda.
Hello.
And Tracy.
Hi.
And we are back on track with our Charity for Charity beneficiaries. And today we've got, did we have a beneficiary last week? No, because Sarah.
We had a detour.
Were
what happened?
us three here? Was it all three of us?
We were all here, but it was a
do?
detour. We just kind of talked about random things.
Random.
Oh, we have the
Shirley
Wow
Kirk
Fest coming
thing.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, we are back on track with the Charity for Charity beneficiaries. And we are excited today because we have beneficiary Kassidy Brewer and her mama Donna.
Hello.
Say hello.
Welcome.
Hi. Kassidy, what year were you?
I was 2016.
Yeah, we're going to have to remind you to speak. You have to just make out with it, Cass. Just lips
Keep
on
your
it.
nose on the
Okay, she says, okay.
mic.
And what was, so Cass, I'm going to let whoever wants to, between the two of you, tell your story, how you became a Charity for Charity beneficiary. But something that's really cute that I like to bring up is when we brought Donna and Cass in the office the first time, Donna's like, can I help? I just want to help right now. And I was yeah, she wanted to help.
She's been doing it ever since.
Yeah, we made her wait a year. And as soon as the year was up, she's like, okay, I'm ready to help now.
That so doesn't shock me.
Yeah, so Donna is an official Wish Brigader now. Actually, Cass is too. She's like her sidekick. She was... Yep. Mom was Cass's sidekick, and now Cass is Donna's
That's how it works. Yeah, absolutely. We're blessed.
So we just love having you guys a part. We're super excited to have you today, and we've got a lot to talk about. But we got to first start with, take us through a summary of what you went through and how you became a beneficiary, or why.
You're good.
You're good.
So 17 years ago, I had a ruptured brain aneurysm, an AVM, and a stroke. And it left me in a coma for almost 5 months.
Wow.
And I had to relearn absolutely everything from holding my neck up to breathing to walking to eating to everything. So I was down and out.
She was down and out. Well, I'm excited to talk about where you are today. But first, Mom, can you take us through what that was like? Because I know Cass was the patient, but you were on the outside watching your little baby girl go through this.
Oh my gosh. It's interesting how you can kind of relive it in your mind, even though it was August 4th of 2008. And it's amazing how you could just go flashback right to that. I think that's a little PTSD too, obviously.
Yes.
But it was just a normal, awesome day, beautiful day in August, and sent her outside to do her job, is to cut the grass, and she did a fine job with that. And
she did a fine job, Cass.
She did a great job. And then she loved to rearrange her room. She was in her room for probably about 10 minutes, and I happened to have been home. I was supposed to be at a client, and they were doing some layoffs that day, and they called me and said, oh, don't come in. We're all a little nervous. And it's never happened before. It never happened after. Wow. So I happened to have been in my home office, and she came out, and her eyes were just literally fluttering up and down and back and forth. And she was in a ball of sweat. I mean, Kassidy, she was a first-degree black belt at the time. And so, she could sweat, but this was like beaded sweat. And then she was posturing, and I didn't know what that meant. When your hands and your feet come up and you're almost kind of going back to that childlike posturing. And I thought she was dehydrated from mowing the grass because it was a hot day. But
she did such a fine job.
She did a fine job. I noticed those lines in the grass. But I realized that it was urgent, and she just said, and she was just shaking. So I took her in, got her a washcloth, and I just called my neighbor who was a paramedic, and I just said, what do I do? She said, get her to the hospital now. If you've got Gatorade, don't stop for it. Just go. I happen to have one Gatorade. I don't know where it came from.
And look at God working all day.
Right?
Crazy.
I'm telling you, God was in this story from the beginning. So I just, I I did what every mom would do is I squealed out of that.
Squealed? Pretty sure you were like,
And not knowing what was expected, did not expect anything like this. But, just like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And she just took one little sip, basically. And we got in front of the Bible College on Merida Hot Springs. And she just said, Mom, I need to throw up. And I rolled the window down. And then I realized how urgent it was. And at that time, that's when I just yelled out to God and said, God, help me. Something's wrong. And little did I know, after Kassidy could talk months later, she remembered that. And she remembered.
Wow, that gave me chills.
She knew she was dying. She knew that she was falling asleep. Right, Kass?
Yeah.
Your words.
Yeah, I could feel my organs shutting down.
So take us to that moment,
how does that feel?
all that you remember in that moment.
So that moment, I literally remember passing out. It was the most peaceful thing. It was like falling into a deep sleep.
Wow. So you remember throwing up?
Yes.
And then you passed out.
Yes.
She fell asleep and I didn't know it. I was screaming out to God at the time. And at that time it was a red light, of course. And so I just yelled out, and then the other people went, and I just squealed, and I just went through the light, and it's as though God parted the waters. And Merida Hot Spring?
Yeah.
Not just the potholes,
That takes a
but
long
also
time.
the lights.
Yeah.
And literally cars were like parting for me. It was like the Red
wow.
Sea. It was almost.
That gave me chills again.
I know. It was
Never,
amazing.
yeah.
But I knew the presence of God was with us because I could just see, I'm not only was I driving way too fast, but everything was opening up too. And I just come in, okay, God, you got to help me. Got to help me through this light. You got to help me. And then we turned at Hancock. And I went around the corner too fast. And that's where Kassidy went from leaning on the window into my arms. And so she went into my arms, and I realized that she was gone.
Out.
I mean, I thought she was just, passed out, basically. I thought she was dehydrated.
Yeah.
That's really what I thought.
And how old was she at this point?
13.
13.
It was a month of her 14th birthday, but she was still 13.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember, but Rancho Springs Hospital was doing some construction, and they were a lot of construction. They were doing
They were
pouring
adding on
cement.
the
wing, the new wing.
maternity ward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maternity.
Yes, but they were pouring concrete that day. So I didn't want to go through the concrete.
Oh, of course.
So I ran to the wrong exit. I went to the main entrance where you go visit patients.
Oh, jeez.
So I got attention, and I literally, because she's in my arm, I have one arm, and there was an ambulance sitting in front of there, and I waved to the guy, rolled my window down, and I said, please help me. And then I laid on my horn, and then I could hear code blue, and that's the last thing a mother wants to hear is
Chills again.
code blue.
Wait,
code
when
blue.
did they say that? When they saw her condition?
No,
Or-
it was over the intercom. The guy that said emergency code blue, and I don't know what happened, but they just code blue, and I heard the code blue, and then all of a sudden the doctors, and that's how you get first place, by the way, in line at an emergency room.
But wait, I don't understand how they knew there was a code blue, because
They
a
didn't.
mom panicking doesn't
didn't.
tell you.
Right, and the
But she was
guy-
like passed out on you.
but she was passed out on
Yeah.
me, which obviously made it
You
urgent
need-
that
yeah, they
she
So
knew.
maybe they thought,
non-responsive.
yeah, maybe they even thought that she was.
They saw the throw up on the door, and then they saw a passed out patient and a mom freaking out.
Yeah.
and
that's
Put
first
two
place.
together.
put it all
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So they came, and we had the most amazing doctor who gave me so much peace. I mean, seriously, I was like, I don't know. She was mowing the grass. And then she's like, well, she obviously threw up. So he took his gown and just kind of opened the door. And I recognized a lady that did triathlons with Kassidy's dad. And I looked at her, and she looked at me with big eyes. And I just mouthed, help me.
Oh,
and
gosh.
she kind of had to turn away just for a minute to kind of, I thought,
Yeah,
to regain her composure. And then they brought a wheelchair, and they're like, you idiot, go back and get a gurney. And so they put her on the gurney and took her away. And then someone went and parked my car, and I barely remember that. Went into the emergency room, and we didn't know till later that the CT scan had not been functioning properly. And
The machine
the
was-
machine,
oh
the
my
CT
gosh.
scan. But they put Kass in the CT scan, and it worked.
Oh my God.
I know.
Wow.
Another miracle. God, it was all over the day that they were just,
Totally.
oh my gosh. So I was in the emergency room. Now, Kass was now in the ER, but in a private room ER for special patients. Little did I know how special she was. And in need of her own room, as opposed to being in the
the main or the hallway. Out here
There was
in
a lot of
California,
people
we're always in the hall.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so she was in the room, and the doctor called me over and said, "I just want you to see Kassidy's CT scan." And I sat down, and I was so calm, and I went, "No, that's not hers. That's not. She's so healthy.
Right.
That's not." No, and he put
What
his
were you
arm
looking
on my
at?
back. I'm sorry. I was looking at the bleed in her brain, the CT scan. And so he was showing that to me. And rather than screaming and yelling and freaking out, I was just like, no, that's
denial.
not hers,
Wrong one. Bring me the right one.
Name on there. God didn't allow me to see anything, but he saw this massive bleed in her brain. So he was, now they're like, okay, go ahead and go in. So now I call my oldest daughter, Danielle.
I'm sorry, I do want to interrupt you because I was wondering, did you call anyone from the moment you realized this was an emergency to when you got to the hospital?
Yes, her dad.
Okay.
And so he worked in Rosemead. So that's a good hour and a half
long
drive.
drive.
Yeah.
But luckily it was in the middle of the afternoon. And so
wasn't
he
fighting
just
traffic.
drove like 100 miles an hour on the way home. So I called her sister as well, who was about to get her hair done, and that's like a holiday for 3 daughters, And you don't interrupt that. But she just felt, Mom, this is urgent. I need to go. So she met me there, and after I saw the CT scan, Danielle showed up, and we didn't know what was going on. We didn't freak out until later, but we went into the room and. Now she's intubated. And I'm like, okay, this isn't just dehydration. And I'm in shock, I think, is really what it was.
Sure.
Yeah. And then they come in, they want to do a catheter. And I'm like, do you really need to do this? She's going to be up any minute and have to pee, kind of thing. And I'm just in denial because you don't know. And even though I saw the CT scan, it wasn't hers in my mind.
Right.
But I'm as calm as I am talking right now, as calm as I was that day until Dr. Spicer came in. And he started screaming and yelling, "Get out! Get out!" And so Danielle and I in the room, and we're like stumbling over each other because he just scared us.
Yeah.
And little did I know that he was going to basically be doing a surgery into the center of her brain, and he did an exterior ventriculostomy that went into the center of her brain because her bleed was in the cerebellum and the brainstem. And he went in from towards, you can't see me, but towards the front, kind of by the...
And the cool part...
Like where you would part your hair, maybe.
I still have the scar today. It's literally indented in my skull.
Oh, that's the cool part?
It's cool.
She says that's the cool part.
It's really
You know what? You and my dad have the same little dip.
Oh.
He has a dip in his head.
He's got a big dip. I've seen it.
Yeah, he had
I've
a
seen
little
his
bit of
dip,
it
too.
filled, but so I don't think it's as big anymore. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway,
haven't seen it
you
in
guys
a
are
while.
dipping together.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show it to us.
Oh, she's trying to make Tracy feel it.
I feel it.
I can't feel like
just
that. That
it's
would make
very.
me itchy.
Oh yeah. No, it's just like a little bump. Yep, I felt it. I felt it.
She's rubbing Tracy's finger on her head.
I could feel it.
Oh my
It
god.
doesn't feel like it feels just like a dip.
Yeah, little dip in the head.
Yeah, he had to go through the skull, everything. He basically drilled through the
So
brain.
he was kicking you out because he had to do this procedure.
Exactly. He didn't
and
want
he
us
didn't want to
freaking
waste
out.
time and
Right.
didn't want to do it with you in
Well,
there.
little did we know, and we found out later, that when he did the drilling, there was so much pressure in her brain that not only did the blood squirt on his shoulder, but the wall and back of him.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
It was
been in that room,
but
that
it
would have been like,
saved her life. I didn't see it. They
thank
kept
goodness.
closing the door. They wouldn't let us back in because they were afraid.
Well, and
we'd
they're doing
freak out.
surgery. That doesn't.
Yeah, but the blood on the wall is kind of like a massacre scene.
Right. No, I know, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
also can't be in the same room with the surgeon doing surgery.
Right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why he wanted us to get
I'm
out.
like, yeah. I
Well,
don't-
the drill alone would have been like, what are
Yeah.
You know?
Get me out of there.
Yeah.
But that was simply to relieve the pressure, so they could get
Exactly.
control of the situation, right?
But here's a God thing is he got the spot. He got all the blood out of there. Well, there was
amazing.
still residual, of course, that was still in there. But where he drilled into it, going a little forward here, forgive me, is he didn't even know Kassidy made it till months later. He
Oh
didn't even
my
know she was
gosh.
alive. Yes, isn't that so cool? We'll tell you about that. Too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that happened. So Dr. Spicer came out, and I think he was a little freaked out because he had to change his gown before he came out. And by the way, he was just a mile away. He was in the building, the office behind us, the neurosurgeon. He was not in the hospital. He came from another building.
That's what I was going to ask. Was he a neurosurgeon or was he just an ER doc?
He was a neurosurgeon.
So
awesome that he
he
was
was
there.
the same one that drilled the hole. So they wouldn't let just an ER doctor do that.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a blessing that he was kind of near.
He was like 5 minutes away, if that. Yes. And so he got that code blue kind of thing, that stat.
Doc, we've got a head thing here.
Exactly.
Get here quick.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he came out. Now, Kassidy's dad had arrived. Danielle is there, and we're standing out with all the patients that are in a gurney in the hallway, which was awkward. Sorry. And he comes out and he said, you know, we have called Rady Children's Hospital and they're coming. But actually, the other doctor said that, the ER doctor. But Dr. Spicer says, there's no chance she can survive. It was massive. The bleed was massive. She will not survive the helicopter ride to Rady. So prepare yourself because she's not going to survive. And I looked over at Danielle and she fell to her knees. And her dad just had, you know, I'd never seen him cry before, but he put his hands over his mouth or over his eyes. And all I could do is put my hands out. I did a big circle looking at everyone in the emergency room thinking, why my little girl? They were all okay. They had broken arms and this and that. And it was like, why us? You know, why her? My healthy girl, my healthiest girl. And just then the Chet team came from Rady Children's Hospital in their helicopter and they had their gurney that we transferred her to, and they were absolutely amazing. Just so we got her in the gurney, and they rushed her out because minutes were everything. But she was intubated. She wasn't stable enough to go, but they didn't have a choice. Warm Springs is not equipped for
Rancho Springs.
Rancho Springs, excuse me, was not equipped for children. You know, pediatrics is something to this scale. So she went off in a helicopter, and we kind of had to say our goodbyes.
Oh my gosh.
So not knowing that I was going to see my girl again was just hard. So
Why do we not have tissues in there?
Every time we're missing the tissue. It's in my car.
It's all good. And,
It is all good to this day, but God, that is just so traumatic.
Yeah. Well, all of us being mommies, we
Yeah.
can all relate to that feeling of like, or I mean, obviously we can't relate, but we can imagine even a tiny way.
Don't want to imagine.
Like, I can't stand the idea of that.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's an hour drive.
Well, no, we had to wait for middle daughter Lexi to get there because she lost her phone at a movie theater, and then she had like 70 phone calls, and she was in Corona, so we waited for about a half hour for her.
Wow.
So
I'm not sure I would have waited. No. Sorry,
well,
Lex.
it was
but I
close,
probably
but
would've-
you know, I knew she was in good hands, but
Well, and you weren't going to be able to be with her at the next.
All good. I'm surprised. Why would a child not? Why could you guys not go? One of you go in the helicopter.
that's a very good question. Is
Wait, we lost your sound.
Yeah.
It might have loosened.
Right here.
can you hear me now?
No.
Sorry. Hold on, we got a little technical difficulty. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. And are you back in?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we're going to pause while we correct this. Okay, sorry. We had some technical difficulty, but we're back. So we're going to finish where we got cut off, and that is Donna sharing why they didn't go in the helicopter.
There was no room for mom in the helicopter. So they had, I think there were 4 of them. Of course, the pilot, and then there were a respiratory therapist, a nurse, and then someone else. And so whenever we go back to Rady, though, they still recognize Kassidy, and they always come up to her. And so
Really?
they remember, yes. So it's, but it was hard not to go.
Oh, yeah.
And so we waited
God,
for
I can't
Lexi, and
Sorry. Keep going.
I thought we were closing.
I don't want you guys to post.
Oh, okay.
yeah, we waited for Lexi, and we got in the car, and then I forgot who was driving, but they took the wrong exit. And so
gosh.
that's when mom fell apart. And
Yeah.
just, I'm just like, get me there now. So we finally got there, and Danielle worked for, we were part owners in a Vespa dealership. And one of the guys, Mike Kozakowski, was already there with his Vespa truck, and he watched the helicopter come in. And one of the nurses could tell he was a little frantic. And so finally our vehicle got there, and he met us there, and so did the nurse. And they said, we've been waiting for you. They were amazing. And they showed us up to this meeting room, the important room that they want to always give you the bad news. And so we sat around the table, and this doctor, this neurosurgeon came in, and he basically told us what was going on, that Kassidy was born with what's called an anteriovenous malformation. It's a cluster of veins very much like Christmas lights.
That get tangled.
That are tangled. That's exactly it, Charity. And that she was born with this. And it was just a matter of time between pressure from her veins, that's Venus, just explodes. And it happens a lot of people in their 30s and 40s, believe it or not. But it happens in children as well. And she's going through puberty and everything else. And that's a time, believe it or not, I didn't even know anything about it. And
There was no signs until that.
Like no headaches,
Or
stuff
do
like
you,
that?
looking back, you're like, wait, there was.
there were signs. Kassidy, because she did Taekwondo, she would say to me in the car,
Your arm's freaking out right now.
you okay, Kat?
Your cray arm.
Here. So Kassidy would say to me sometimes on the way to Taekwondo, Mom, I hear this. Psh, 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 psh. Do you ever hear that? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I said, but let's keep an eye on that.
Yes.
And so she said it like 2 other times, and finally about 2 months prior to her bleed, I said, that's it. I'm calling the pediatrician because I don't hear that.
That's weird.
And that's
yeah.
weird. You know what I mean? Red flag.
Yes.
So just a few weeks, it was actually the 4th of July weekend. We were in Newport Beach on our friend's boat and everything. And you could see Kassidy's left eye just really, and she was just really, it didn't, I mean,
What Donna's
looked like
doing
she
is
was
she's
sick.
closing her left
Closing
eye and kind of
grimacing.
kind of like crouching a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, it just, you could tell she was off. And there was a couple times she had to go take a nap. What 13-year-old goes and takes a nap on the couch, you know? And so I'd called her dad a few times, like, this is so weird. Something's going on, and I just need to call. Well, you know, mom's intuition and everything. But I still have a lot of guilt that I didn't get her to the pediatrician in time for us to have a CT scan or something. Little did I know it was her brain.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
You know, pay attention to that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because there's pressure in a brain. Now I know the signs to look for, but it was too late. And so the doctor said she was born with an anteriovenous malformation because they now did an intense MRI when we got to Rady Children's Hospital. So they had all the new scans because there was plenty of time on our hour and a half wait getting to Rady. And
So when did you, because you expected, according to what the doctor said, that when you got to Rady's, you were going to get bad news. Did you, or did you not? Or how did that?
they weren't quite ready to give us that information yet. They wanted to let us know. Is that
No, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
okay?
So
we
you
were
got there and
waiting.
you said, is my daughter alive? Or when you got there, what did you?
I just wanted to see her. I fully expected her to be alive.
Okay.
I never
So you
doubted
didn't-
her to
Oh,
be
okay.
for them to say, I'm sorry, she's dead.
Okay.
I just in my heart, I just was in prayer. God just, everything was so positive. I mean, God is so positive you want him to be. You know what I mean? And I looked at
you're
the
a positive
goodness.
person too, though.
I'm an
I think.
optimist, I know, but they gave us the news that, that she was going to go, but I didn't believe it. I didn't even believe that was her CT scan,
Right.
Needless to say, now she's there. It was just all so surreal. And so, he told us all that news and that, and he basically handed us papers to donate our organs.
Oh,
and
At Rady's?
At Rady. And I said, excuse me, but we brought the ultimate physician with us. And I pushed those papers away. And I said, we need to give her 3 days.
Wait, when you're listening, you can't see, but she said, we brought the ultimate physician, and she was pointing to
I was pointing to
God.
Jesus. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he was kind of like, who is that?
You brought someone better than me?
Bingo.
You're like, yes, haven't you seen the picture? Jesus over the operating table?
I don't think he had. So anyway, I said, I just need to be with my daughter. And so we took that long walk. It seemed like a really long walk. And if you've been to Rady Children's Hospital, it's very clean and the hallways are very long
Yes.
and very lonely and very sad. And so we got to the ICU and sorry.
That's okay.
no, it's okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Need to go get tissue. Go get toilet paper.
I'm good. So we walked into this room and we walked into room 336. And it was, at Rady in their ICU, it's a round, the rooms are kind of in a round pod. So there's different pods. And then the nursing station is in the middle so they can kind of keep an eye on everybody with glass doors. And there was Kassidy, hooked up, fully intubated in this bed with a sheet over her. And she was glowing. She was beautiful. And the air in the room was just purified.
I have
can't
to
even
hold on.
explain it.
Cass is over here, like putting her hands under her chin, like, yes, I was beautiful.
She was. Her skin, her just everything. It's got God's radiant. Her angels was just surrounding her.
Wow.
And then before we knew it, neighbors and friends just started showing up.
At the
And-
hospital?
At the hospital. And just, we had people getting pulled over from the cops on the way because they were exceeding the speed limit.
Exceeding the speed. They were speeding.
They were speeding.
They were exceeding the speed limits.
Yep, they were. But it was beautiful. And,
Yeah. Community.
and so we probably had about 30 people there that evening
my
that just
gosh.
wanted to support Kassidy and our family because honestly, people were showing up to say goodbye.
Who was making those calls out of you guys? Because obviously it was the three of you at the hospital, right?
It was
And Lexi, four of you.
4 of us, and Travis.
And Travis,
Travis
yeah.
was there from the very beginning as well. So they were all on their phones,
Oh, okay.
but I was not. I was present. And my whole job was just to be mom and present. I could have cared less about anything. And
And to kind of on their note, there's only so many people that can be in a room at a time.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, not that you all got to be in there?
Well, when someone's ready to die, they break the
they
rules.
let everyone
They let
in.
everyone. So we had between 25 and 30 people there.
In
to
the
s-
room?
In the room.
Oh, they let them all in.
To say our goodbyes because she had a code blue. She had a full cardiac arrest, and so she had no hope. Zero.
Oh, my
and so they
gosh.
make exceptions. You be very quiet, passing all the other doors, but. We saw a lot of that through the months in ICU, and those children passed away. So I got to see the protocol, and it was very, very sad.
Oh, yeah.
So about 7 o'clock that night, 25, 30 people were there, and we laid hands on Kass, and it was the most beautiful thing. And there were some people that came and that were seers. I didn't know there were seers.
Oh, yeah.
And they saw this beautiful Michael, the archangel, huge with his sword over Kassidy. And it was so warm and peaceful. And people that really didn't have a relationship with the Lord were there having an experience for the first time.
What is a seer for people that don't know?
Okay. Those are ones who can see angels or see,
Because that sounds kind of weird for people that
trust
don't
me.
know.
It was
Yeah.
weird for me too. And
Yeah.
I just had to believe because I knew the Lord was in the house.
Yes.
And
You could
not,
feel it.
not just in Kassidy's room though. I'm talking the hospital. I mean, we just prayed for every child in that room, but they saw this huge angel mark. I'm not Catholic. I'm Christian. And so I wasn't brought up with,
Like knowing all the
knowing
angels.
all the
Yeah.
prophets and the
We
angels.
don't- yeah,
and
we
things
don't
like that.
always learn all that.
Which I should.
I
but,
know. We need to be better
I'm
about
Catholic. I don't know.
it was beautiful. So it was,
that. So you still had faith at that moment because you're like, everyone's here to say goodbye, but she's not going anywhere.
but she's not going anywhere. Exactly. I had tears of more shock and sadness, but not from her dying because I'm giving her 3 days and she's
Yeah.
going to get better. That was
Right.
my belief is just,
And you
it
felt
was
it.
hope. Yeah. And I had hope from the very beginning that she was not going to die. I did on one day though, but it was a bad day. But
So you were you were completely, where were you during that time?
Where was I?
Are you aware of, like, were you at the mid, were you between?
No. No, I remember. I'm still praying for that. I remember absolutely nothing. Just right before, and maybe a little bit waking up, but
months later.
nothing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always curious, when you're in a coma,
Can you hear?
Are you just
I'm
checked
curious
out,
too.
or-
Yeah.
You're curious too. What goes on?
You
when you're in
didn't
a
hear
coma?
anything, though.
I don't know.
I'm
You don't
still
remember
praying.
anything.
I'm still praying for that.
You're praying that God tells you or brings
Yeah.
back that memory or something.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when you see him one day, he'll know.
No,
You may not know.
I
sooner.
believe it'll be before.
You do. You think you're gonna know.
I do.
What do you hope?
I hope that he reveals the who, what, when, where, why all this happened. And I'm starting to see, but I want to hear his voice to tell me what actually took place, what happened, who was there, why this had happened to me. And I believe so. People always say, oh, you were called for this, you were appointed for this, but I believe we were all called. We were all called for something different. It might not have been to be in a coma, not knowing your odds, but it could be that stay-at-home mom that doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It could be that husband that commutes to and from work each day. We're all called to something. And to shine the glory of Christ in what we're doing, in what we're called to do to glorify him is what really puts a smile on Jesus' face. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just want more clarity on, because we all see you today and we're like, well, this is exactly this is why. This is the why, because of all the lives you're touching and changing and inspiring.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear from your perspective that you're not super clear on that path, although you have purpose and you know that you're doing God's work.
Yes.
You just
for
need
sure.
a little more, you're waiting
Yes.
for God to yell at you.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
basically that I always call it that Jesus slap.
Oh, you want to be
Are we all-
slapped in the face by
Yes.
Jesus. All right. Well, I'll start praying for that too. I'd like to see
Okay.
that
Yes.
play out.
We all need to be awakened.
That's right.
I like
right.
it.
Well, you've been awakened 3 times from your birth to your rebirth, and then you're waiting on your last slap before you go. Okay. Well, so let's talk about you waking up and kind of like Donna, obviously, not obviously, but I can imagine a little bit what that would be like. So tell us your perspective, and then I want to hear your perspective from your first memories of waking up.
Okay, I'll go first. What do you want to hear? A miracle story?
Yes.
Okay, it's my favorite one. There was many, but this is my favorite. So there was one of the nurses, and she was usually down at the oncology unit. Her name was Lisa, precious nurse, and she heard about Kassidy in ICU, and she did a lot of Reiki and stuff like that. No, nothing about that. And but I was just like, she's like, I was told about Kassidy. I wanted to come up. I wanted to see if there was anything I can do. And I'm like, wait. I need to know, because anything that comes into this room has to be of Christ, or I don't want it in here. And she told me, and I said, if we could be praying over here the blood of Jesus, I'm okay with that. But anything else, no.
You don't want any creepy voodoo stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Because
be real.
That's it.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm a believer. Yes, let's do it. So we started at Kassidy's feet, and you don't touch her. You just kind of go up into her body little by little. It took us probably 30 minutes, and we don't say anything, but we're kind of on each side of her body. Now, she had a ventilator, of course, and so this was after she was ventilated almost 40 days. So 30 some days. And so they had to extubate her so she didn't have a tracheotomy. And I said, she's not having a tracheotomy. They said, well, may not have a choice. So I said, she's not having a tracheotomy. There were some things I was just adamant about, which is not like me. Usually it's like, if she needs it, do it.
Right.
But I was adamant. And so we were going up her body, praying over her toes to her, every part going up. And then as we got to her brain, oh my gosh, my hands were on fire. And I was but I didn't want to take them off, but I was like, just trying to fan myself with my breath and just praying over her head, the cerebellum, the brainstem, the top of her head, all where the bleed was. And then we just kind of went back down the body. Granted, we were doing this together. And all of a sudden, the respiratory therapist opens the door like in a panic. And I went, and I didn't take my hands away from her head still. And I said, what's going on? And I could see about 9 or 10 doctors outside the glass door, and they're all like jumping up and down. And I'm like, what's happening? They're freaking out. And she goes, we've been turning off the ventilator. She's breathing on her own. And I went, I've got chills right now.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, are you kidding? And they said, finish what you're doing. And so I kept doing this now. And I'm okay, what's going on? I'm peeking out of my eyes. And so we finished down back at her toes, went back down her body, and I'm profusely sweating still. And so we finished, and Lisa and I looked at each other and went, it was like one long prayer over every inch of her bone, her blood flow, her arteries to her heart, just everything. And the doctors, and it's a teaching hospital, so there was a lot of fellows there too. And they opened the door and just kind of all fell over each other, came in and said, she's breathing on her own. We have never seen this before. Wow. Because of the act, what we were doing, they saw the miracle. They saw the power of prayer. And some were not believers. And so Travis, my son-in-law, his mom was there to witness the whole thing too.
Wow.
Which is precious. And she was just like in awe. But no more than 10 minutes later, I get a call from Michigan on the phone. The phone never rang in the room. And it was Grandma Faye, we called her. And she was just she was like a grandma. It was a friend's mom and dad, and they'd known Kassidy and the girls their entire life. And she called from Michigan, and she said, Donna, I just got a call from my friend at church because we've all been praying for Kassidy. And she was doing the dishes, and she has 3 little girls. But she said the Lord told her that her mother is going to be a part of her healing. And I said, Faye, do you have any idea what just happened? And she said, what just happened? And I told her the story, and we all literally, and Lisa was still in the room when we all just kind of fell to our knees. And a lady from Michigan who didn't even know us had a vision that we were going to be part of the
Wait, so
healing.
what? Not Grandma Faye, but a different lady?
A lady from the church who had
lady?
3 young daughters, a complete stranger.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I?
Sorry, there was
this.
a
I'm a little lost
Okay.
too. How are they
Okay,
going to be
sorry.
a part of the healing?
No.
that her mother, that
the
Jesus,
lady at the church like got a message from God that Kassidy's mom will be part of the healing.
Oh, you.
Yes.
But we can all be part of the healing if we ask. You know what I mean? It's just not me. It's all of us if we ask him.
But you felt it.
But I felt it, and we were being obedient to him. And she, from Michigan, complete stranger,
Whoa.
saw the vision and heard the vision from the Lord. And so that's something I'll never forget.
Yeah, I guess not.
Again,
That's
the Lord.
beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the next day she was extubated and she was breathing on her own.
Wow.
Yep.
That she was still in a coma?
She was still, there's 8 phases, 8 or 9, Kass. 8 phases of a coma, and they gave us a book to those phases. So she was a little bit opening her eyes now because now we're there for a few months, okay?
Yeah.
And there was a lot that happened in between, trust me. It was all drama and every day. And, but she was opening her eyes little by little, but no one was there. She wasn't following commands, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. So then when she came to officially, how did you find it? Like, were you there? How did you?
Officially, oh gosh, we brought Kassidy home, and so finally there was nowhere else. She was down in the step down unit. Everything else, and they said, okay, Kassidy can go to another like a outpatient rehab center.
place. Ugh.
And I said, oh, as a mom, oh, heck no. And I said, she's coming home. Home is for healing.
Yes,
And they
it
said,
is.
yes, Mama, that's exactly where she needs to be. But some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
So we tried for 3 times for Kassidy to go home, but she kept having her shunt kept failing. So she wasn't waking up again. So she got hydrocephalus, which is fluid on her brain, which is very common after a brain aneurysm or other things. I think Cameron has one as well. And so it's fluid on the brain. And seriously, when Kassidy's had 7 shunt revisions. Oh. And so with every one, she would talk gibberish. She can't form a sentence when her shunt revision fails. So
She was kind of in and out and
right.
not totally.
She wasn't even there.
You knew. Okay, got it. So, but the verbal thing was.
Not there.
She was not there. She was just her
She wasn't
voice.
even
Her
verbal.
mouth was just going blah blah. blah.
No, she wasn't even
What's
talking.
What's the?
What
do you mean by-
I'm sorry, that was later. That's,
okay.
That's much later.
Is this
Yeah.
40 days out still?
So we're probably more like almost 2.5 months out now. Okay. They want us to send him home, but within 7 days she had 3 shunt revisions.
Oh,
They
so it's
failed.
Like, no, you're
They
not going
failed.
home.
They failed. And so finally we had to stop saying that we're going home, and we had to use the word, we're going shopping. And so people didn't know what it meant, but we did because home seemed to have been kind of
Triggering.
like a trigger word triggering for her shunt. But so finally she was able to go shopping, which meant home, and the ambulance came to pick her up. And Dr. Khanna, we're going to see him tomorrow. We're bringing Kassidy's books to all the nurses and doctors already.
How exciting.
And we're going to be meeting with them. And he came in on his day off, and he, in his vehicle, followed the ambulance to the freeway to make sure she was okay. It was beautiful.
What a great doctor.
So Kassidy remembers a little bit about the ambulance ride.
So to you, she was still in a coma.
She was in
going
a
home,
stage of a coma
I was.
going home.
and she kind of remembers this part.
No.
No.
I kind of.
I was in this ambulance.
I just remember the doors closing. That's
Okay,
all.
closer. Oh, okay.
So just that.
Oh, so you just had like a little glimpse,
Yes.
and then you were gone again.
Yeah.
Okay, you share the next part, Kassidy. No, want me to?
She said no.
She wasn't all there yet. So the ambulance came and picked her up, and that drive home was just so exciting, but terrifying because
Yeah,
now I have
for
a
sure.
3-inch binder with medications and
Oh,
feeding tubes and rotations every 2 hours, 24 hours a day, and diapers.
But you're going to get
and
home
wipes
care.
and-
Are you?
Did you do it all?
No.
well, I had lots of help with my daughters. Yes, they were.
But you didn't have like a
amazing.
home care nurse?
Well, they came just to make sure she had a pulse.
Wow.
I get you.
You are such an angel.
Oh, no, they
crazy.
taught me everything. And Denise Shile, she's one of the PAs, and she's the one who said, get a 3-inch binder. We're going to write everything down. I had graphs, everything. But reality hit when we got home. So
Yeah.
the ambulance pulled up, and the guys were amazing. And there were balloons and greetings from the neighbors and kids from her school. And Kassidy would have just started 9th grade, so they all missed her terribly. And so we got her in. So we had a full hospital setting at home with the pole and for, IVs and feeding tubes and everything. I had a whole hospital section, but they put her on her bed in the living room, and our dog, we had a boxer named Penny who missed us being a family unit. She didn't know what was going on. She was just a nervous wreck for 3 months now. And so she had a purple bandana on because that was Kassidy's color, the color of royalty in the Bible. And she licked Kassidy in the face, and she woke up.
No way.
I know that story, so
No
I was
way.
in shock.
She knew she was home.
Yep.
She woke up?
Well, she in her own mind. We didn't know she was awake.
I didn't like that. But the veil was greatly lifted.
She knew she was home.
Yes, I knew I was.
I love
Beautiful.
three of my
Wow.
favorite, a dog and a boxer.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
one too. They
yeah.
are special animals.
Was it like your dog?
It was a family.
Family dog.
Family dog?
Yeah.
But they really know.
They know.
Yeah, they know.
They
They know
so
when
do.
something's wrong.
Kids
They
go to
know when it's
college.
wrong.
They know
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a picture of that moment.
That's so
and it's
sweet.
in her book. Yeah.
I want to see it.
So you keep speaking of a book, and I think we should jump there real quick because
so too.
what I want to bring us up to, because I want to cover a few other things. So I'm going to bring us up to speed that obviously then she already told us she had to rehabilitate. She had to learn how to do everything over again. But you were given a lot of like, she'll never be able to do this again. She'll never be able to do this again. She'll never be able to do this again. And something that so how old was she when you met us? Charity for Charity.
So 16. So 2008 to 16, 8,
14?
Math, we got to do. Math.
7 years? Probably. Oh, it'd be 15 because 16 was the, so 2015.
So how old was she?
So Kassidy would have been,
7,
19.
I think so. Yeah, I think 19.
So you're about 19 when we met you?
around then. Yeah.
Okay, so when we met you, you walked into our office with a walker, right?
Yes.
The girl that wasn't supposed to live after that.
Yeah.
And you were feeding yourself?
Yes.
Yep. You were brushing your own teeth?
Everything.
You were living pretty... Well, what you need to know about Kass is that this girl, she's a feisty one. And she's pretty hard-headed. And it's hard to tell Kass she can't do something. So I almost think that the doctors telling her she wasn't ever going to be able to do any of that anymore is what made her do it all and then some. So at that stage, tell us where you were at. Like did you finish? Yeah, you'd finished high school. Did you finish?
I remember the phone call that you guys called that exact day. I was at junior college in between classes and you guys called.
And we called you.
Yes.
Not you, because you were an adult already. So
yeah.
And I forget all these little details, but I love that you all you Bennies remember all these things.
Who nominated you guys?
Jay O'Neill.
Oh yeah, he owned a
Global Medical.
Global Medical.
And
Yes.
so I would go there and get all my stuff for Kassidy when all the hospital supplies, and he was just an amazing man. We love you. We love you, Jay O'Neill.
Yes. And he
Sweet
had
man.
gotten to know us. I can't remember how he first came to know about us, but yes. So then, so anyway, so you were in between classes Were you driving yourself at that time?
Yes.
So this girl drives herself around. She goes to college, like all the things that she was told. Well, she was told she wasn't going to be able to like brush her teeth and walk and talk. And she's this far along. So to say it's a miracle, I always say if you don't believe in God and you are open to it at all, come to Stars of the Valley because you witness miracles, you witness God is in the room.
1,000%.
And every time you're like, I can't believe it, it's staring you right in the face. So today, you can't believe it. Kassidy is where she's at today. And so Mom's mentioned a book a couple times. So you ended up writing a book. And what inspired you to do that?
Yes. Well, first of all, I have to say that if you don't want to come to Stars of the Valley, read my book. Or do both.
Yeah.
Because you'll believe in miracles that way too.
Yes.
But the hands-on experience is so much better. But yeah, so my book is called Blameless. And it's just a good, hard story about hope and how we all fall into despair and we maybe don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes we all have baggage that we set on the table and we look at and say, oh, there's no hope for this. When really God put that in your life to bring you to the next level. And sometimes we take a step back and see that all that crap that we have on the table is going to set us back, when really it's just a setup that's just going to move us forward to make us better, not bitter.
Better, not bitter.
I love it.
I love that.
I love that.
So you have come to realize this in your own life, and now you want to share it with others. Is that
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yes.
So when did you realize you wanted to write a book?
Well, initially I started about 13 years ago.
Oh, you did?
But then I put it on the back burner for about 13 years. And so I just picked it up again last March.
And it's published and ready for sale on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I started it. I haven't got far in it, but I've started it and it's amazing. And it's so you. I love that it's so you through there. And I love how you brought the different family members in to share their perspective. That was a really great aspect in there.
Yes, but a lot of people say like, or they might think that this story is about me, basically. So why would I bring my friends and family into it when really they're the ones with all the juicy details that I need? And so, yes, I tell my life story and my healing, but they have all the good, hard stories that I needed to
Fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But everyone went through different emotions.
Yeah, it was interesting to see everyone and kind of the things that stood out to each one of you differently. It was really cool to get all the different angles and perspectives. That was I loved that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kass, kind of describe today, because you do have some side effects. Describe to the audience that can't see what your side effects are.
So my biggest deterrent is my ataxia, which is my shakiness. It's only on my left side, which makes things very tricky. Yeah, and it's just a part of me. That's what makes me me.
That's right.
And I mean, some people see their imperfections and their flaws as something to be embarrassed about, when I'm over here like, look at me, I'm an open book.
She has the best sense of humor.
I love it.
She, like, don't you call your arm something?
Lefty.
Lefty, yeah, because the left arm sometimes just goes crazy. Like it happened while she was in here. She was trying to put her headphones back on, and it went cray, and then she has to drop it down, like tame it. But she, the confidence that this girl exudes is like more than people that have no issues. Like and she's real, like she doesn't like help. She likes to do things on her own. People see her and she's shaking, and it takes her a second to like get up a step or whatever. She's like, I got it. And that's that fight in you that has brought you to where you are and continues to bring you. And I think you're born with that. Like, I feel like it's something.
Well, I have to tell you, I think it's a Taekwondo as well. So she was a first degree black belt, but in 2010, she actually had her second degree black belt with
her condition.
With her condition.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. And, we had a fundraiser for Rady Children's Hospital and brought in over, I think, $14,000. And a TV station came and did something.
When she got her black belt, her second black belt?
Degree black belt. So
cool.
She didn't just finish with her first. She was determined to continue. And I think that's part of her fight. That's all she knows.
Well, but her determination to continue is something that it's just, I do believe that, we have choices and we have to choose, but some have just a stronger fight like in them than others. And I think that's what gives you your little like spicy, like your sense of humor and your ability to like joke and tease and all that.
So the biggest quote in my book is that it's actually on the back. It says, hope is a choice you make, not a feeling you get.
Yeah, I love that. That is that your quote?
I think so. I
You own it. You need to copyright that.
She lives it for sure. That is a beautiful, you need shirts that say that. That is a beautiful quote. Wow. Well, I encourage everyone to buy Kass's book. We just had the Way Out West Fest, and it was your first official signing. Now, can you tell me if this was a dream of mine or if I actually saw it? Because you were doing a book signing and your mom had told me that you guys were talking about your signature and how you can't totally nail that down necessarily. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like if you could just get a K out or something. But then I don't know if it was a dream or for real that I saw you stamping the books.
It's real.
Oh, okay. I was like, where did I get that from?
It's real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you sign it, with a stamp. Okay. Yes. And everyone's fine with that? They don't ask you for your actual autograph?
Well, I did get one, but I turned it down.
Oh, okay.
And said, I'm sorry, I can't. You're going to get this.
Okay, well,
We were
there you go.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many books did you sell there?
43.
Wow.
43?
No way.
You sold 43 there?
I did.
That's amazing.
I'm buying one.
I want to buy one too.
I was busy. Sorry. I kept saying, I got to go buy one. And I did.
Oh, we were all busy.
I'll buy it.
Do you have them here?
Oh, yeah.
She's got the QR code to buy. Okay.
Right.
We're
And then
gonna.
what?
You can send that or send it to me somehow. I can put it on the bumper shoot.
Yeah.
Instagram.
And then you can sign it too.
Stamp it.
Stamp it. I mean,
Stamp it.
Okay.
She'll stamp it.
I want to stamp.
So okay, Kass. So we'll kind of finish with a little bit bringing Charity for Charity into this and kind of your experience and what that was all about, and then we'll wrap it up. So I just want to know, so we called you between classes, and what did you think about that?
To be honest, I had no idea what a beneficiary was.
Did you know Jay had nominated you?
I guess I did.
But we didn't know what it meant.
Okay.
No. And then someone said Charity for Charity. Now I know Jay said Charity for Charity. And I put two and two together and I was like, oh, okay.
I think it was
Thank
me.
You.
Yeah, I make the phone call, so it was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah. So then we invited you to come in with Mom.
Yeah.
And we interviewed you and all the things. And then What did you think when you left? Like, what were you expecting, or what did you?
I honestly had no idea.
Oh, we were freaking out, Cassidy. I think we were freaking out.
Yeah, but I had no expectations. I didn't know that I didn't know that all of this would come out of that.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. So, Stars of the Valley, did you feel like a princess?
Oh my God. More than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then were you surprised with your wishes? Tell us what your wish fulfillments were.
Okay, so my first
Talk closer. Well, after you cough.
my first wish was to go to Paris, France, and Paris, France for 8 days, and it was amazing. It was absolutely phenomenal, more than I could ever think, ask, do, you name it. It was phenomenal. Overall, the best experience. It was my mom, one of Charity's friends, Angela, and me. And it was.
Why did I send Angela, though?
Oh, yeah.
I don't just send random people on
Angela?
vacations. Angela Pettit.
Oh,
Angela Pettit. Yeah, she moved before I got close to you, but yeah.
I remember her.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
She loves Paris, France, and she's gone several times, and she's totally, like, I knew she would be the perfect tour guide for Donna and Kass going alone. Nice. So we sent Angela with them so they could have the optimal time and with someone that knew their way around.
Too.
Yeah, and she got communicated and stuff. So I think it really attributed to your guys' memorable experience.
It was the best. She's
a lifelong friend now.
She really is.
yeah.
And she named her daughter Paris.
Yeah, that's how.
And she is the very first one that actually sent me a picture of my book from out of state. So I was like, oh, it's so special.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was like, it's not international.
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Yep,
There you go.
Nationwide. That's awesome. Yeah, she's a gem. We miss her. She moved to Virginia, and I'm going to make her come back if you're listening, which I'm going to make sure you listen to this one, especially that you're going to be back for the 20 year in 2027. Put it on your calendar now, girlfriend. Okay, so this is what we kind of share a lot of times, and this is what the previous beneficiaries have shared. It's, that night is magical and it's special, but it's overwhelming. I know we haven't finished your other 3 wishes. Let me pause. Go ahead. Tell us your other wishes. I don't know if they're not 3. I just sounded like the genie right there.
Well, that was my one wish, but Charity for Charity went like above and beyond. And
That's not all.
That's not all.
That's not all. And so they blessed me with a trip to go to the movie premiere, Miracles from Heaven. And we got to have a limo, and we went out to a nice dinner. We got all dressed up. It was
in the after party.
And we went to the after party. Yeah. Yeah, that was a beautiful.
Still my favorite movie.
Thanks to Debbie King hooking us up with her daughter Nicole, who is Jennifer Gardner's agent and best friend. So she really pulled the strings over there. So that was pretty special. But I think Jennifer Garner's the only one we didn't get to meet.
She tried. Remember, she kept going.
Yeah, she was like waving from afar, but she was just too pulled. But yeah, we got to meet like all the daughter on that played.
And the real daughter.
We met both.
Yes.
And then the real parents, I think, and the actors too. Yeah, we met so many great people.
What a cool experience.
It was a nice thing. Yeah.
Fun.
It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the story was about. Charity's like, well, how does this correlate with Cassidy's story? And I'm like, I don't know. I just saw her fall out of a tree and get better. Should I push her out of a tree?
Yeah, that's what happened to the little girl. Yes. She fell. She had a something. What did she have going on?
A stomach issue.
Oh yeah, she had her stomach problem. That was deadly.
Yes.
And then she fell in the middle of an empty tree, and she was cured. Miracle.
Miracle.
Yep. So that's why Donna wanted to. She's like, this sounds like right. So and then does that wrap it up? I don't remember.
What others?
It's usually about 3, but I can't remember.
I don't know. I just we just were blown away, not with just everything about Charity for Charity, but you, Charity. I mean, just making everyone feel so loved and so accepted into this family. And I remember your dad, Gig, even saying, well, you're not going to get rid of us anytime soon. That's part of the family, you know, Gig.
Always.
And it was true. And we don't have family out here. And Charity for Charity has become our family. I mean, we hang out with these cool people. And we
Lots
just
of
feel
friendships made. And
yes, and it's changed our lives. I want to thank you for that.
well, you know who to thank.
I do.
He's upstairs. It's an honor for me. It's hard for me to take the thank yous because I feel like it's not me, but I do know that I have to take action and make it happen. And so, but I also am just like with the Wow Fest and every year with Stars, all of the people that God brings into my life that then I bring into this organization, some I pull and some come fleeing. But, I rope them in like I did the two girls sitting here and, and then it's like you can't be the people that didn't stay a part of it had reasons beyond what we're doing. It's their own personal issues or time or moving away or whatever. But really, once you get into this, it's just like I don't want to say addicted, but you're like, you can't get enough of it. And it's because of the personal touch, really it is, because we're connected to every single person that's involved, whether you're a beneficiary or volunteer. We have this connection and everybody puts so much heart and love into it, whether Rhonda couldn't be at Wow Fest this year, but she's still working until the day of. Tracy was, couldn't hang the banners on Friday, but all day she's organizing the parking lot. It's like everybody pulls their weight, whether they're present or absent, they don't ever want to let go and don't want to not be a part of it. And that is something so far beyond what humans can do. It's just it's glory to God. And I think something really special about Charity for Charity that you feel in the Stars of the Valley room, and we've talked about it previously, is that, God is in the room. And whether we're talking about in a location or in our Charity for Charity family, not everyone is total believers. I mean, there are some people that don't believe, they let us do our thing, but they are still as involved as the next one.
They see the light.
And they see the miracles. Yeah. And, and so God's working on the hearts of everyone, whether you're a believer and have fallen, off track or you're like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just put it in the corner, and part-time believers, it doesn't matter. And that's what I love about our organization is that God gets to be the center of it. And we all love each other, and you don't know where everybody stands because everybody is in at the same capacity and doing it for God's intention. And we always pray, Lord, let the light shine on you, not on us, and it is something that I feel like, obviously I get light shine on me because it's my name and I'm the, I'm the orchestrator of it. But, and I pray I never, ever don't defer that glory in front of everyone. Like, this is God's organization and he's in charge. So anyways, that's something that I was leading up to by saying Stars of the Valley is one night, but really what happens with Charity for Charity is it's a lifetime after that. Right. And you guys have really embraced it. We have had beneficiaries that haven't embraced it, and that's fine. Everybody to each their own. But we just love how much you guys have embraced it, and we've got to stay in your lives and, being present all year long. It's, it's just awesome.
Part of our life. Yeah. And when we can't be present, the beautiful thing is we get to pray for each and every child or adult going through hard times because that's what we're called to do. Yeah. So if we're not able to be present and volunteer and everything, we can get on our knees and pray for these children, especially Lily right now.
I know.
And
Poor baby.
Dylan and so many of those are hurting. Yeah. And that's what we're called to do.
That's right.
Well, and I know that, we've had a couple beneficiaries that moved away that are still so attached. And, I think of Caitlin, and her mom's still active in Wish Brigade, even though Caitlin moved to Arizona, and Caitlin come for stars. And then Megan, who moved north of Vegas, she's driving down just to do a podcast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it means that much to her. She also wrote a book that actually came out, I think, within a couple of weeks of Kass. It was so funny. I'm like, no one's ever written books before, and now these two wrote a book in the same week.
We want to buy a book.
We're actually in contact. We're cheering each other on. We're like, okay, our book signing is coming up. You're doing a great job. Keep advertising.
Yeah.
Love that.
So hers, and oh my gosh, I know the title a million times, and now I'm blanking, but I'm going to look it up. It's Flower. I'm going to Raylan's Flower Garden. Raylan's Flower Garden. That's also on Amazon. And hers is a children's book, and just using Raylan as a flower to give kids like an idea of when a flower is different. They're special, and it's just a beautiful book. It's pretty short. It's a quick read for adults. So it's cool. We have like one beneficiary that wrote, your book's pretty thick. How many pages is that?
370 pages.
Yeah, she wrote 370 pages.
I'm excited.
And then we have the children's book. So we've got books for all ages, guys. All ages and reading levels.
Yeah.
So that's so special. So, she's constantly praying, checking in. We did pick our new beneficiaries for 2026. Yay. Megan happens to know one of the moms, so she's so excited. That's just something that I just wanted to say, like and everybody praying for each other, cheering each other on. That is what excites me about Charity for Charity more than anything, I think, is seeing you all as a support system to each other, inspiring, encouraging one another. We had Sarah on and recorded, and it didn't stick, but we were talking about that, how her and Nairi can relate. And so they talk about things. You and Geraldine related with your girls. I mean, it's like God's purpose is so much bigger than just us sending you to Paris.
We've been to Ireland with Geraldine.
Yeah, you guys did a whole, there was 3, wasn't there 3 beneficiaries?
Joanne, which is Amy Martinez's.
Yes.
And then Kimberly Ebersol. We had just the best time. But see, that's our Charity for Charity family.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Friends internationally.
Yep. Yeah. So that's so cool and so special. Kass, I want to give you the mic as we come to a conclusion here. And just let you share whatever you want to share about whatever you want to share about.
I just think the world of Charity for Charity, and I cannot begin to explain the love, the presence, the family that you gain when you are a part of Charity for Charity. And I love every minute that I'm with you guys because I just feel a connection.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yes.
we love you. We're so, I say it almost every time. I feel like we're more blessed than you guys are. We get more out of it than you do.
It's true.
You're an inspiration. Your family's an inspiration. Every time we see, the family with our beneficiary, how hard the family works and I've seen so much of the families working so hard to normalize the lives of all of you guys. And, I love, because there's a good balance between servicing, but not babying, encouraging you to be independent. I think now you're encouraging. Some of you guys are encouraging the moms. Let me go, but as a mom, I can understand. I mean, my kid goes to Universal Studios and I'm still trying to parent him, be careful and don't do this and do this. But it's hard for parents to parent adult children.
Yes.
It's really hard. And
so hard.
Because you're always our babies, no matter how
That's
old
right.
you are.
Always.
It's true. So, but I just love how Kass, your independence and your fight for that is an inspiration to those that have come to Charity for Charity since you. And they get to see you, your hope, your encouragement, your inspiration. And that is beautiful. It's special.
I actually I get approached by random people And I just got approached today, actually, from this lady at the gym who said that she always sees me and she's just like gleaming with hope. Like she told me, "You are such an inspiration. I just love coming to the gym and seeing you here because you are unsteady. I see you, but you're doing a good job." Aww. And I was like, yeah.
Well, and for us lazy butts that won't even go to the gym, like you put me to shame going to the gym.
Well, sometimes she falls and they have to pick her up. I mean, no, seriously, it's like, but she doesn't get embarrassed.
She doesn't.
That's awesome.
She, we've had some unstable thing, and we just laugh and joke about it. And she's like, "Well, I fell down," or "Well, whatever." Like it's just it. You know what it does for others? It helps others to be able to laugh and help and not feel awkward and uncomfortable. And so it's a gift for other people that you can laugh and joke about it.
Why don't you just slap the word vulnerability on my forehead? That's really what it is.
You're just vulnerable.
Because when you make light of the situation that you're in, it's easier for others to open up about
That's right.
theirs.
Yes.
And to encourage them in the state that they're in.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's what my book is about too.
Yeah. Well, you have a gift of that. You really
That
do.
there's hope. Mm-hmm. And don't let it derail you or bring you down. But what can you do with it to make others smile?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Me too. I so love that.
Well, I tell you, I am excited for 2027, our 20th year. We're not going to pick new beneficiaries. We're going to just honor all the past beneficiaries. And I look so forward to that year of celebrating you all at a level that we've never done before. So.
I cannot wait to see what we're doing.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
I've got a lot of things in this brain waiting for that, but I got to get through the first one, the next one in 2026 first.
19 first.
Yeah, I got to get through 19, then we'll get to 20. But yeah, I'm already in the works of a lot of things and some ideas. But I just want to say thank you guys for coming and sharing. I know it's not always easy.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Cass, when's your next book signing?
October 11th at Hush Coffee in Marietta.
October 11th?
From 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay, so can you also send me that in writing so when I post it, I can share that?
Yes.
Okay, and they could follow you on Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook are my main socials. Yes.
And what are the like, is it Kassidy Brewer?
My Instagram is Coffee with Kass.
With a K.
With a K, Kass. And then my Facebook is Kassidy Brewer.
Yes. Okay.
With a K.
Yeah, with a K. Yes, Kassidy, Kassidy.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you guys follow her and buy her book and then read her book and be inspired. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. We would love to have you back. We're going to have you back again. I want to follow up after you've done some book tour signings and stuff, and maybe we'll dive deeper into the book, get a little more into some of the chapters, what they're about and all that.
We can do a live book club. We'll all read it.
Oh,
And then we'll talk about it.
that would be cool. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Anything else that either of you want to say?
We just want to say thank you. Thank you for changing our lives. Thank you for being in our life. We love you, Charity.
We love you.
Yeah, you guys are the miracle makers.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Do you guys have anything else?
No, congratulations on your book. I'm so proud
that's really
of you.
Exciting.
Thank you.
And that was a pretty successful weekend, I'd say. So
Yes.
congrats on that. That's
So amazing.
awesome.
First one, yeah.
I know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the Way Out West Fest was her first signing. Yeah.
Very
So cool.
first.
So cool. Yeah, and to just kind of elaborate a little bit, because we led into the Way Out West Fest, now I'll just wrap it up. We had an amazing event out at Old Town Ranch. Thank you, Brandy and Ken Newman of Newman Hospitality Group. What is it? Newman? I don't know. That's not really, we don't use that one. I don't know why I said that. Ken and Brandy Newman, Old Town Ranch, The Stampede, Morningstar Productions, and Event Pros. and then all of the people that helped and attended, and the singers and the arena events. I mean, it was an amazing event, and we are so excited. It was our first time there, so we have a couple little kinks to work out, but really, all in all, it was fantastic, and we can't wait for next year. We feel like it's gonna double.
I can't wait
size. Yeah, because you need to go. Yeah.
I better be there.
You really missed out.
Yeah,
I know. I had FOMO.
Yeah,
I can't tell you.
It's hard in this community because when in the community itself, we have so many events going on all the time. So we always try to like not conflict, but some people pop up events after we've already scheduled ours and they don't think about it. And then you have so many people in your life, family and friends. And then, you can't miss a wedding. You can't miss a funeral. You can't miss this and that. And so it happens that sometimes, some of the biggest events, some of we also had, Emily that handles all our volunteers.
Yes.
She went to Croatia. But she had it scheduled before we had our date picked, but there was limited dates anyway. Next year, we're going to pick our date really early before anybody buys their tickets, before anyone schedules their weddings or their baby showers.
Yes.
And hopefully we can prevent that. But yeah, it was a great blessing. It was so exciting, and everyone worked their butts off. So thank you to everyone that participated in the Way Out West Fest this year.
Yay.
All right, you guys, that's not all. We'll be back next week with more Bumbershoot, covering life's chaos with humor and heart. Yeah. Have a great week.
Bye.
Or 2. Actually, this is going to be 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.